So the biggest benefit of having insurance policy isn't it like you're also covered?
You
Something happens.
100% are covered. Oh yeah, the my death benefit. I'm probably worth more dead than alive. I joke a lot and say that if something happened to me, my wife can probably marry that Costa Rican she's been eyeing. Jokingly, of course. But no, there's a huge death benefit that comes along with these policies. The cash value is the same as like in your home. If you have $1 million home and you have $200,000 of equity, and you and your wife decide to go sell your house, when you go to close your house and sell it on the HUD statement, they're going to pay off the mortgage, and then whatever's left is you're going to receive in the form of just cash. It's the same thing with life insurance. Your death benefit is the asset. That's like the property that you own. The cash value is like the equity. It's like what you have access to. So
Mhm.
one day down the road, when you graduate into the next life, Raja, which I hope is in 50 years, the insurance company is going to pay off any amount of outstanding policy loans that you have, and then whatever's left over is going to go to your beneficiary in the form in tax free. So in the way that, just so you can visually see this and understand this, imagine you're pulling out of your parking lot this afternoon and some lady hits you. She rolls in and hits your fender. And you take it over to the body shop, and the guy says, "Hey man, it's going to cost you $4,000 to fix this thing. That's going to be a bummer." And
Mhm.
the lady's insurance company writes you a check for the $4,000 to fix your bumper, whatever. And 4 days later, your bumper's fixed. You roll out of there, and you're back to neutral where you are right now. I would ask you, I'd like you to answer this. If that insurance company wrote you a check for that $4,000, is that 4,000? Is that a capital gain?
Nope.
Why not? Tell me why it's not.
Capital gain for me or
For
no?
you, yeah. I mean, you just got a check from the insurance company for 4 grand.
Well, yes, technically what you were saying, yes, because that's your
Isn't
money
it?
you pay to the insurance company, and now because of that interest you're gaining, that's the money you're withdrawing. Is that right?
Forget the interest. Forget the interest. Now, this is like, I'm actually kind of enjoying this because I thought the same way you did. The insurance company for this lady that hit you, that wrote you the check for $4,000, she is subsidizing your loss of $4,000. You did remember your fender is costing you 4 grand. You just had a loss of 4,000 bucks on your vehicle, right? So on
Mhm.
paper, you just lost $4,000 of value, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
the insurance company stepped in, her insurance company, not yours, stepped in and said, "Hey, Raja, look, sorry about that. She's a great driver, but not she didn't look over her shoulder. We're
Mhm.
going to write a check for 4,000 bucks to get you and your vehicle back to exactly how you were before, right? So you had a loss of 4,000. The insurance company writes a check for 4,000. So you on paper do not make a dime. You didn't make any money because
Yeah.
you lost 4 grand. Life insurance is identical to that because, I mean, Roger, think about this. If you down the road, I mean, let's say that you're 95 years old, you're going to have millions of dollars of death benefit when you're doing it this way. Your beneficiary on paper is going to have millions of dollars of losses, the same way that you had a couple $1,000s of loss on your vehicle. The insurance company steps in and writes a check to your beneficiary to make her or him or that entity whole. So the $20 million of loss that because you passed on, the insurance company writes a check, they make them whole, no tax. So all the while, you're able to use the insurance company's money. And most importantly, there's no Uncle Sam involved at the end of the day. And that's kind of how,
Yeah.
if you study it, Bowley, Coley, Choli, look up bank owned life insurance, Google it, Google corporate owned life insurance. Regions Bank, which is a Fortune 500 bank in Birmingham and really in the United States, they own more life insurance than they do real estate. I mean, next time I would challenge you and all your listeners, next time you go into a bank, if it's not a teller, look at their little name pin and ask and see if they're a vice president or not. When they're a vice president, what that means is that they are an insurable interest to the bank. So they can put life insurance on that person. So these banks are just putting life insurance on everybody
I
in their book
agree.
that's a vice president. And then they just put their profits in life insurance on all their employees. And then one day down the road, it's going to keep going up. They graduate, they get this tax-free distribution, and what do you know? It just funnels back into the banking cartel system. It's a whole gambit.
That's very interesting.
Like
I
my TED talk, I
never
guess,
thought
right?
about
It's hilarious.
I never thought about that way. Like I understand what you're saying, insurance policy, financing the insurance policy, do something else. But the analogy you mentioned, it's very interesting. Very interesting.
It changed my perspective, man. Like I said, I was a hater out of the gate when I first kind of started learning about this. I thought this was I was like, I can do real estate deals. I'm way smarter than this life insurance guy. Like and I was just an arrogant kid that still thought he knew everything from baseball. I was just kind of had that pretty much cockiness, I'd say. And I've changed my perspective a lot. I've just tried to study like what do other rich people do? What are these guys doing? Versus me only thinking that I was smarter because I had like 10 or 11 houses. And very quickly, as I was trying to discover, I was like, well, wait a minute. If banks are doing it, so it was almost like I came to this fork in the road. I was like, all right, either the banks, the wealthiest, they have the largest buildings in every downtown, and the insurance companies have their name on every large building downtown. So I was like, okay, there's two solutions to this. Either the banks are getting absolutely swindled and sold by some snake oil life insurance salesman. That's one solution. That could be it. They're either getting totally ripped off by one guy or
Mhm.
multiple guys, or there's something to this. And that's when I kind of had the epiphany of like, I just don't think they're getting ripped off. I think there's something to it. So that's when I started to study it. I started to read the book, Becoming Your Own Banker, which is it's right here. This is another great one. If you haven't read this one, this is another good one too. Becoming Your Own Banker,
Sure.
by Nelson Nash. And I was after I read it, I was like, there's just something to it. I even told my wife, I was like, I think this could be like a really cool thing. And she's like, you're getting sold by an insurance guy. And then now we've got like 6 policies. So she's like a huge believer now too. So I
Great. That's
love it.
great.
I'm gangbuster for it, man. I can't get enough of it.
That's great.